Testing 1, 2, 3. What's up, dev heads? Welcome back. Today I'm gonna start working on the level designing. I'm gonna continue working on the level designing for the Dev Games 3085 world. So feel free to ask any questions, any anything you want to ask me regarding dev stuff, Unreal Engine stuff, while I work on my project. If you have questions regarding the game or what you would like to do, any feedback would be most appreciated as well. So here we go. Two, testing 1, 2, 3. Mic check 1, 2, 3. Mic check. What's up, Beer 5211? What you been up to? Beer 5211. Already opening with a lot of errors. That's not looking good. My mic sounds a bit low. Okay, thanks for the heads up. I might switch my microphone. Next time I'll use my regular mic. I'm currently in a different computer, so maybe I have to talk louder. What are you taking a break from? As a newbie, huh? What kind of game are you building as a newbie? Snake? Mario? Galactica? My game has been kind of uh, progressing a little bit slow. The reason being is that I had to transfer my game to the newer engine, 5.7. I made that change because I'm getting more FPS, and since this is gonna be an open world game, I figured I need all the FPS I need. So yeah, I had to redo a lot of things. Currently working on the bounty once again. Um, the shooting system need to revamp that. I slowly added the as you can see, I added stages for you guys as devs. You will be able to display trailers or anything you want to add regarding your game. So if you are in my Discord, if you haven't joined my Discord already, feel free to do so. I'll make a channel for you guys so you can post videos, links. No, my mods did not break. In my new video, I said that Steam fixed mod breakage, I guess you can say. The reason being is that when you update your game, sometimes you break your mods. With the new Steam update, if you have Steamworks, you'll be able to make versions basically. So you won't break your game every time you update your game, you know? Usually, if you have mod support and you update your game, if you're an indie developer like me, you'll sometimes end up breaking mods, you know? Especially if you update your game and the mods are running the older version of your game. So with this Steamwork update, you are able to make a very like different versions of mods. So like you can say, oh, this mod works on 1.2, and then the other mod, and then you could also like tag it and be like, okay, this mod only works for 1.3, and so on and so on. Or you can even say this mod works for all versions. So Steam will give that to people who make mods and whatnot. Oh, I see. Yeah, I did break some mods. Thankfully, I did reach out to some of the authors to update their plugins. Some authors had no idea that their mods were outdated. Some so make sure when you update your game to get a little push, talk to the developers of the plugin, and normally they will either send you a file. Normally they will send you an updated file because sometimes it does take like a week or two to update plugins via Unreal Engine Fab Store. So if you contact them, just go to the plugin store, for example. I reach out to this guy. Let me see. The plugin I asked for was a database plugin. I think it was called Post. Oh, this one. Net I think it was called Net, not NetBeans, but Net Database. One thing I hate about Fab is that it takes forever, especially on the editor. I'd rather use it on the website. It's much faster, as you can see. But let me show you the one. Of course, need to log in. So I think it was called Net. This one, NetDB. So in my game, I plan to use databases. I recently learned how to use PostgreSQL. Before I was using MySQL, which it's nice. I mean, I came from a PHP background, so I know how to use MySQL, but little did I know PostgreSQL is much faster than MySQL, and you could do so much things. It's more flexible. But yeah, they recently updated to 5.7 because I asked the author. Normally, you could ask the author by either going to their documentation page and just look for their email. Um, they usually contain their email, but just send them a message and normally they oh yeah, here, see? Normally there's like email somewhere. See this is the email to the database guy. So yeah, fortunately now all my plugins are up to date so I can pretty much move the project to this version now. Really excited. So Brandon, what kind of game are you working on? Well, this game is about game developers. Um, I'm basically gonna start off like a simple game. It's gonna be like where you can showcase your work. Ideally, for the ultimate plan is to have your demos be played within this game. Not sure how I'm gonna do that yet. Sorry, I have a cold. Um, but I want to get your demos inside my own game so people can play. You know, it's gonna be a game about developers. You'll be able to showcase your game via you know, trailers. You can showcase your music, artwork, whatever. And then within the game, there's gonna be mini games that you could play. That way, it won't be, you know, just like a huge walking billboard. You know, I don't want that to be it too. My other goal is to add VR, and I want to take advantage of VR frame when once it comes out. So I'll probably be adding eye tracking and some of the features that Steam Frame has. So it's gonna be a modern meta, yeah, I guess you could say a futuristic meta world for game developers. And within this game, there's gonna be games. There's gonna be pretty much a third-person shooter where you can, you know, start shooting. So that's my that's pretty much the plan. On my other version, I already had the cars flying around the level, so yeah, there are a few things that did break. I had these flying around as well. The world looked so much livelier on the other version. But again, I don't regret making the change. I'm getting more FPS performance. It's also first person if I wanted to. As you can see here, different view modes. I got you could easily change the perspective. If you want to zoom in, zoom out, or go first person if you want. But yeah, um, everything in this game is gonna revolve around money. I guess you can say Liros is gonna be called the currency, Liros. As you can see on the bottom right, my you'll see my currency going up every second. So you literally make money without doing anything, but you'll get money by doing things. You get a lot more money by doing things. Um, you could also PvP. Once you leave bounty, you can no longer PvP. And your currency you'll be gaining less currency. But if you enter bounty mode, you'll make more money. but I did put a weight limit because I don't want people to leave back and forth. It would be kind of cheating if you ask me. If people are getting chased down and they just like leave bounty, it's kind of unfair. So I did put a 1 minute cooldown. And I'm also using a procedural CD maker. I only used it for the road, but I want to see if I could refine the buildings within the plot so it can look good. Currently, I'm facing this glitch where if the landscape is a bit sloped, I will run into these issues right here. So you see this? Since the landscape is not flat, I'll be running into this. So I'm gonna try to take advantage of this city procedural generator. As you can see, this area is flat, but this area is not. So, well, what I want to do is I don't want to like I'm gonna release this game as soon as it's playable. I don't care if it's polished. I just I'm probably gonna add like I'm probably gonna once I have something playable, I'm probably gonna do some type of contest within the game. So so like let's say I do my first thought was to make like a scavenger hunt. On my previous version, I already had that already done where you'll have these battery crates across the whole city, and what you have to do is find them, turn them in, and you'll also get interrupted by other players that could like hit you, and you'll probably and your battery pack will explode, causing you to like causing the competition more. It's making it more complex. In other words, and while there's a lot of things going on, people can shoot you and yada yada. That was my plan for my in-game giveaway and aka first release of this version of this game. Um, yeah, I think that would be a better idea than just doing a common giveaway where my YouTube videos get filled with bots. So that way I get you guys involved with my updates as well. So every giveaway, I guess you could say I'll be letting you guys know when there's an update and whatnot. No, I don't want this game to be just totally shooter, but I want that to be kind of the main game you can say. But I want like other types of games. Like in one plot, I can add like maybe a simple soccer game. In one plot, I can add like I said, it's gonna have multiple games, but mainly I want your guys' creativity to take effect in the city. I just need to find a way to do this. Like I said, I want your guys' demos within this game. I already have an idea of how I'm gonna do it, but I just gotta test the new Unreal Engine 5.7 limits and stress test how it would work. Like how I would like achieve the fact where once you play the game, how I can make it go back to, you know, the city in Dev Games 3085. So yeah, there's a lot to plan or a lot to do. But like I said, I'm not gonna overstress it. I'm gonna I'm gonna open the game up for you guys because I'm not gonna wait like I did. I'm a perfectionist, so if I were to wait, it could take me years, you know? So now I'm just gonna be like every milestone, I'll open up the game for you guys. And at the same time, it serves for like beta testing. But at the same time, I'll be giving away, prices and whatnot. So yeah. What type of game are you building, Uncle? Oh, I see, I see. And I'm assuming you're using the Unreal Engine. Whatever you do, if you're just starting, I wouldn't recommend multiplayer, that's for sure. Unless you're unless you're a daredevil like me, don't start with multiplayer. I didn't know what I was getting into. Unless you're planning to make a basic multiplayer with no shooting, just the basic like meet and greet, I guess you can say. But for an intense, first person shooter, no, I would advise against it. Yeah. Also, when you start, think about organization first and foremost. How you're gonna set your file structure, because blueprinting can get messy real quick. Start commenting and whatnot. You think it might, you think it's not really important, but it does make a huge difference, especially when you leave your project, then come back. And that's now that I'm getting older, I forget where I leave everything or what I did the code for. Are you gonna work with a team or is it just gonna be yourself? Oh, okay. Awesome. You have some dev experience for sure. Yeah, I also came from a web dev experience myself. So my first database choice was MySQL when I added a ranking on my Bloodbound game. But thankfully, I moved to Post SQL, which works better with games. But again, that's if you're doing like online leaderboards or whatever. Yeah, yeah, help is hard to find, but you could find if people like show your interest, you could find people like in Discord chats or even forums. And that's where I found my I guess you could say my partner for games. I found him through the Unreal Engine forum. One time I just, shared my idea what I wanted to do, aka vampire game, multiplayer shooter, and he just one day randomly, messaged me, and from there we established a great relationship, and now every game we work on, we work on, we help each other. Right now, he's working on a game called The Cult. It's on Steam, so if you want to wish list it, by all means. That's if you're into PlayStation style games. But yeah, but yeah, help isn't hard to find if you ask. You gotta post on forums. ModDB is another good website to ask for help. You know, Fiverr, unless you have, in case you have capital, you could look for people to do some work for you in Fiverr. Upwork is another website that's pretty good. But again, if you want to do everything yourself, by all means, you learn a lot for sure. What I really want to master is animation, which is more art than anything. It's a skill for sure, though. And on Unreal Engine 5.7, they made tools much better for sure to animate. You could literally animate within the editor. You don't even need Blender. Heck, you can even model in 5.7. But of course, if you already know Blender, just stick to Blender. Yeah, that's a good route. I pretty much just dived in, but making small little games for sure. I mean, I was doing technically small mini games, but prototypes here and there to achieve a bigger one. But your idea is pretty cool. That's basically how I would do it if I would start all over again. Start on small games. So, yeah, like you said, try to see if you can make a quick bucks out of them. Who knows? Sometimes the mini games are the ones that take off. Focus on the elephant in the room, like or the rare unicorn, I guess you could say. Make a game that's very that has that element, like the rare unicorn, where it stands out. Like recently, I saw this game called a squirrel with a gun. So if you're making mini games, I advise doing something like that, something that stands out, something funny, something wacky, something or something scary, or something that really stands out. Who knows? Maybe you could go viral with one of those mini games. Hmm. Arrhenius? Never heard of that game. Let me check it out. Hmm. Okay, it's a 2D game. Huh. I can see it. I can see it being addicting. Very good reviews. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that looks very addicting. When I'm bored, I do play this game called let me see if I can find it. Asteroid. It's like an asteroid web shooter. I'll have to go through my list. Feel like doing that, but it's basically a desktop shooter where it's asteroid, but it takes over your whole computer, which is pretty cool because I could see my whole desktop while I'm playing games. So the game is taking place within my desktop. So I thought that was pretty creative, and it's actually pretty cool. I can play and dev at the same time. Dang, 400, 4,000K, no way. In the first month, man, that's like a dev's dream come true right there. That's what I learned from my first game. Like I said, my first game took me about 5 years, but I did learn, first I started creating the game as a single player, right? Then I learned, okay, multiplayer, but I wanted essentially make it a multiplayer game. Then when I learned about replication, I'm like, holy crap, I need to create this game all over again because replication is another world. So I didn't totally have to create the whole game from scratch again, but I had to add a replication, and that's another game within itself. So yeah, now that's basically what I want to do. After creating a big game, I just want to do mini games. At the same time, I am creating this game, which I learned not to wait like 5 years to release the game. I'm just gonna release it in milestones, like I stated previously. But yeah, 400K. I also seen some asset flips that made around that amount too. Just like I said, sometimes it just all depends on that that rare unicorn or that thing that stands out. Yep, that's totally too. Yeah, the generation does is full of anxiety. Makes me wanna makes me it's giving me a lot of ideas. That's pretty cool. Maybe I can implement that kind of stuff within this game as well. I do play VR. I like VR boxing because I used to box before. So maybe it will be a good stress reliever. Like I said, I'm trying to implement VR within this world as well, where you don't necessarily need VR, but you can. You can join, hop in, play as an NPC while playing with, PC players. And just to release some stress, I could add some mini boxing games within here and a way to gain currency. But yeah, I see. It's just ridiculous how these small games take off at times. You wonder like, oh my God, I'm doing all this for nothing. ASMR games. That's hilarious. Punchy Bunch. Yeah, I think I played that game. Currently, I never thought I was gonna subscribe to Supernatural, but I did. It's a pretty good game. I didn't like it when it first started, but I like the music. Another one is that I play is Fit XR. If I really want a good workout, there's a good game called what's it called? It's basically a real fighting simulator, and now they made a part two, and I think it's called Into the Ring or something. But but man, you do really get a good workout on that game. When they intro the part two now introduce multiplayer, I guess they started with multiplayer first. I didn't like how it didn't feel natural compared to part one. So I stopped playing it. But it does really get you winded. I think it's called Into the Ring or something. Here, let me see if I can find it for you. VR boxing game. Oh, the thrill of the fight. That's the one. Of course, I think you need. I'm not sure if this one's on Steam, in case you don't have a Quest. Actually, yeah, it is on Steam. So if you have another type of headset, but I would recommend having a Meta because it's like not tethered, and you're gonna be swinging your arms around for sure. This is part two though. I haven't. Oh, apparently it's free. Oh, it's coming soon. Okay, so yeah, this is the part two one. I actually broke my controller on my second round, on my second time playing the game. Yeah, and I didn't like it because people were like swinging their controllers around, and they were kind of making like a drill with their hand. I thought it was kind of cheese. I thought that was cheese for sure. Not only that, people were winning using a weird non-boxing style, and I'm like, nah, forget this. This is not accurate whatsoever. People were kind of like swinging their arms like helicopters and actually winning. So I'm like, no, forget this game. Not done yet. Yeah, I mean, you use the Fab Store. It has a lot of good assets. I don't know how advanced you want the art to look, but you could also try looking into AR art, unless you're against AI. Meshi is getting better. Did a review on it called Meshi AI. Um, did sign up for it for a little bit. I hardly use it, but now apparently there's a newer versions where you can just create art this way. So you can either just like ChatGPT or Sora, you could um you could do an image. You can even draw a concept art. These are the ones I've done so far. I tried to do a weird troll. That was my first version, but then I got better at the drawing and I did this. Without using concept, I just told Meshi to do Sonic running. is the best I could do without using any concept art. But yeah, yeah, it's getting more advanced, which is scary. But I also made it. I told it to make me a gothic vampire. So that's another thing you could look into. Like I said, there's a version 2 now. I don't know how it look, how things will come out, but because you don't care about how detailed you want your models to be, you could look into this for props. For simple like chairs, tables, this is perfect. But for detailed characters, I would advise against it for now till it gets better. But yeah, you could also use Fiverr, you could use Upwork and hire other art, people that are good with 3D modeling, animating. Animating, I want to say, is the most expensive because for like a 1 2 second animation, people tend to charge you around 20 to 50. And depending how skilled the animator is, sometimes they could go up to 100 to 300, which is ridiculous. But hey, if that's what you're worth, that's what you're worth. I'm not hating the game. Yeah, no problem. Trust me, me being lacking art, I've thought of so many alternative ways to make art. At the end of the day, nothing beats having a small team. Maybe you could also do a collab. Sometimes there's some teams that will help you if you help them. Like let's say, since you have dev experience, you are you're blessed that you do because that's basically one things that teams lack is a dev. And since you already have that, you can use your work to get some art from a lot of artistic teams art that are lacking dev. So you can pretty much like do favors amongst different teams, so you can get your artwork that way. Again, try looking up forums, start using Discord. There's there's also an official, semi-official uh, Unreal Engine Epic Discord. I use Unreal Source too, the way you can find help. There's a lot, man. Just gotta Google, do a little search. ChatGPT will probably nudge you to the right direction now. Okay. Yeah, man. Has a lot of default animations. I really want to switch to Mover 2.0, especially now that I'm at 5.7, and now that I like recreating the project all over again. But I feel like it's too early. Like I feel like I'm gonna start working on it, and then on 5.8, they're gonna break a lot of things. So I'm just gonna wait until they really refine it. Then I'll move to Mover 2.0. But for now, I will experiment with it and maybe so that way I could like be up to speed when it comes to learning it. I did open up Mover 2.0, and there's a lot of tutorials that I've seen online where they're saying they pretty much tell you guys, hey, this is how to create a character using the third person example, but they don't they're not really showing the cons like how everything works and how Mover 2.0 now runs on states more or less. So yeah, hopefully I'll probably dive into that and create a video for you guys regarding that. But definitely the gas, the I guess you could say the Unreal Engine animation example has a lot more animations that you could use. How did I solve the netcode issue? I did use a I had to modify things via C++, but I first started off with a plugin that did help me with that as well. Not only that, it helped me with how do you say client prediction. Because when you shoot your bullet as a client, it looks like you shot the the person, but it doesn't register properly in the server. So I did use a plugin for that meantime. But if you really need to solve that problem, you gotta get down and dirty with C++. There's a lot of tutorials out there. Hopefully I'll probably start working on one of that as well. But with Mover 2.0, I think you're not gonna need it anymore. I hope Mover 2.0 also solves the client prediction shooting for fast-paced games. Not only that, my main questions I get is how to shoot with client prediction from a vehicle. And that's something I've been wanting to do, but I always get sidetracked. I think once I release that video, I'm probably gonna help 50% of my watchers. But yeah, if you really got it, like for example, if you want to stop that rubber banding effect on sprinting, you gotta do it via C++. You gotta make a new state, and you gotta edit the CMC, which is the character movement plugin. Are you gonna dive into C++ first, or are you gonna be using Blueprint? Yeah, that's the best way to go. Blueprint's pretty good now. It's, it's more optimized, but then you're gonna have the Blueprint haters. They're gonna say you're gonna always have those people that are saying that, which it is. C++ is more optimized for sure, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel at most of the time with blueprints. It's fairly easy to do compared to C++. this, save this, save these. Yeah, once you get to that, like I guess what I want to say is that once you, let's say you make a sprint and you play with latency, look into how to fix it via C++. That's when you have to get down and dirty for sure. And in case you don't know, you can simulate latency in Unreal Engine by just going here, then going to advanced setting. Then from here, not here, sorry. So you go here, then you go to let me see. It used to be here. Oh yeah, it is this is the spot. So you go to enable network emulation. Once you click that, you'll have this available to you. So here you can set the latency, so incoming latency, packet loss percentage, and so on. But to make your life easier, you could put just bad, right? So autofill it out for you. So so when you play as a client, for example, let's say I want to play as, I'll show you the difference. If I play as a server, you see how everything loads up faster, right? Now, if I play as a client, that's where I'll see the problems. I'll go here, client, boom. So you see the game's gonna take much longer to load. And then you'll see errors like that where the camera doesn't point right away with to the main camera. See how things just lags, especially with pocket loss and all that. So yeah, so that's how you emulate lag. Go ahead and disable it. Yeah, there's a lot of plugins. There's mods. There's probably plugins that will. There's another one called MoveSync. There's a plugin called MoveSync that I heard of. I used it only on objects. I think I have it as well. This one's pretty good. Oh, it's called SmoothSync. Uh, this helps with ragdolls, and you can use it as a character. But see, the thing about this plugin, it doesn't help. There's a weird issue with proning, like when you crouch, the capsule around you does not work properly. Like basically, you crouch, the capsule does not crouch. That's the only problem I had with this plugin. So yeah, but in theory, this is pretty good if you're using it for like objects. Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. It's pretty good. There's a little video demonstration to show you. Lagging out. You can see some games use it as well. Let's see, these games do not require like if you're not doing a
Hi
3D
everybody, this is
character,
our simple drop-in smooth sync
this is a
plugin
good
for
plugin
Unreal.
for sure.
It allows you to smoothly sync physics and non-physics actors over the network with ease. Smooth sync is highly configurable to suit your game's specific lerping needs. We provide full source code with detailed comments so you are never left in the dark. Thanks for watching, and check out our other video for a more detailed overview of just how powerful Smooth Sync can be.
Yeah, it's a good plugin. Unless you could probably tinker with it and make it work with the character creator, not the character creator, with the third person character. If you have time and patience to fix it, then by all means, it's a good plugin. But if you're making your own custom character that does not need crouching or proning, then you're good with this plugin. And again, I have seen just a sprint plugin, which fixes that issue as well. Just another thing you could do is buy the plugin. Hopefully, it's not too expensive. Open it up, dissect it, and see what they did. Probably apply it to other movements like leaping, wall running, teleporting. Yeah. I think I also got a sprint plugin to do exactly that. Let me see if I have it in my library. Sprint. No. There was a good plugin that I used for client prediction. See if I can find it. Bullet. I think it was called Bullet. No. No, I'll have to find it, but basically it was a good plugin where when you shoot, it will kind of rewind the server will rewind the client, and it would like depending on what depending if the server allowed it, it would pretty much like, hold on, let me see. What's it called that? No. If I find it, I'll post it in my Discord. But it took care of client prediction. My Discord is on my YouTube page. If you go to my channel, let's see. You go to the About Us section, and I'll have the links up here. So you can go to my Discord here. You could also go to devgames3085.com. I have my Discord there on my website. Click here or here. Best YouTube channels I go to. Again, I do use Unreal Source, another YouTube channels. Most of the time, I just go to plugin Discord channels. So I look at what I like. For example, that smooth one I told you about. So every like plugin I buy, I tend to go to their channels because I like to ask questions. And sometimes I like asking questions on how things work or when I get stuck. Another YouTube channel that I use. Um, you know what? The only channel I use is that one. I'm pretty sure there's more out there. I guess now since I have a small team, I hardly go to channels. I rely on the teams. But Unreal, start off with the Real Forms. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good website. And from there, I'm pretty sure you can find more channels. Yeah, no, that's the only one I use, honestly. Unreal Source. The only problem with that Discord though is, us devs, we have egos. So like, if you ask a stupid question, people will look at you sideways. But yeah, on that Discord, it's filled with a lot of sections that you can post help. For example, here in the Unreal Engine source, find it. It's always it has a lot of members in this Discord. It has sometimes you got people hanging out most of the time. But as you can see here, they even offer salary jobs, freelance jobs. So in case you get stuck, you can hire one of these people who tend to post their portfolios, their rates. And if you're looking for something custom, you can even ask for help, how much you're willing to pay. Um, but in terms of help, as you can see here, they have sections for everything: multiplayer, online subsystem, CPP, just blueprint. And if I really get stuck, this is my go-to place at times. Well, it used to be. Even have questions for the UE4 and UE5, even things that deal with career and industry. It's a good source. It's a good Discord to start off with. Oh man, I guess my Discord, not my Discord, but my Unreal Engine editor got stuck, and I'm beginning to become a brain potato. So I'll catch you guys later. Thank you for tuning in, and make sure to subscribe if you wanna catch me go live. I rarely go live, but I'm tending to make this more regular. I'm almost catching up to my watch time in terms of YouTube monetization. So I'll probably be going live more often just to complete my hours. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. And Uncle, be sure to join my Discord, and we could continue having conversations there. Maybe if you have any more questions, I'll be free to answer all your questions. All right. Thank you. Thank you.